हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय चैनल विद देवाशीष। आप सभी का स्वागत है और मैं लेकर आया हूँ आपके लिए क्लास 10 एनसीईआरटी का सेकंड चैप्टर, दैट इज नेशनलिज्म इन इंडिया। Nationalism in India is a very important chapter in class 10. And in this chapter we will see all the different national movement took place in India, which was supervised by none other than Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi came in India in 1915, right? So it is not the very important incident, but before 1915 there were some incidents which took place and that are very important. So in 1885, in 1885, INC, Indian National Congress, was established with the help of A.O. Hume and Annie Besant. And this INC played a very important role politically in India. Soon after 1885, the biggest incident took place in India is arrival of Gandhi. Gandhi came in India in 1915 January. 1915 Jan. Gandhi arrived in India. After this, Gandhi started his first movement in India in 1917. But before that, let me brief you a small political as well as economical incidences took place in India due to the First World War, which took place in 1914. First World War, right? Here, the two of the supreme power of the world in Europe were fighting together to prove that who is the best, Axis and Allied, in which there is a requirement of soldiers while Britain was fighting. British Crown forces Indian people to fight over there as their soldiers, as well as to meet with their expenses. They have imposed a lot of tax in Indian people, and Indian people were not capable enough on that particular period to pay their taxes. And for that reason, the Indian people were not satisfied with the rule of British Crown in India, East English Company in India. When Gandhi came in India in 1915, he was basically a nationalist, a socialist, who wanted to do a good thing for the Indian people as well as a good deed for the Indian society. And at that particular time, Indian society was facing a lot of problems. So the very first problem the people faced, the Indian society was facing at that particular time, and Gandhi got his opportunity in 1917. 1917, Gandhi started his first movement in India, that was Champaran movement. In 1917, the first movement, Champaran, took place. So in 1917, Champaran plantation workers were facing a lot of problems. What was the problem? It is not mentioned in your book, and somehow it is mentioned but not brief. So let me brief it for you. In 1859, there was a law which was imposed on the Indian people, was known as inland immigration, in which workers who are working in the plantation area are not allowed to leave the premises without the consent of the owner of that particular land. So here, if you want to leave that particular place, you need a permission, right? And at that time, labor was so costly. That's why none of the Britishers as well as the plantation owners were ready to get them off. Now, in 1917, Gandhi came to Champaran and fought against these owners. In 1917, to Kheda peasants, they were very much suffered. They had to pay a lot of taxes. The taxes were highly imposed on them, and that time, just because of the drought, so they were got that much of productivity surplus, and they were waiting for the Gandhi so that Gandhi will come and he will fight against them. In 1918, again Gandhi came to Gujarat for the Ahmedabad cotton mill workers. Daily working hour is so high and the wages were so less. Soon after 1918, when the political system is getting changed in India, the Imperial Council sent a group in India which do have a law with them, and this law states that under the Rowlatt Act, any of the political leader, socialist, were the threat for the British Empire, can be detained without any trial for 2 years of imprisonment. So against this, Gandhi has started a big rally as well as a hartal. Soon in 1919, martial law was implemented, and here is the entry of the biggest villain, none other than, it is General Dyer. And with this martial law, General Dyer, in 1919 only, in Jallianwala Bagh massacre took place, when he come to know that some of the people urged together and they were discussing as well as there is a political revolution in that, where they wanted to do something bad, something very problematic towards the East India Company. So, in Jallianwala Bagh, when some people were celebrating the festival Baisakhi as well as some of the nationalists, they urged over there and they were discussing about this Rowlatt Act. He came up with the force, he locked the entrance, which was the only entrance in the Jallianwala Bagh, and he gave an order of open fire. And we all know the consequences of that as well as the result of that Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Thousands of people die on that particular day. In 1919 only, Khilafat movement started in India by the two of the brothers, Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali, which took place in the Maharashtra, Nagpur. Now, what is this Khilafat movement? Have you ever heard the word Khalifa? Yes, this word associated with the Ottoman Empire. And what happened soon before the 1919, 1918, World War I over. And with the World War I, the Ottoman Empire lost, right? They lost in that particular war, and there was a hostility on Ottoman Empire. And Britishers wanted to capture all the power of the Khalifa, so they implemented one of the law in that. The Khalifas were not able to exercise their power to the last extent. And against of that, these two brothers, Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali, started movement in India which is known as Khilafat movement. So this Khilafat movement which took place in India, it is by the Islamic people, the Muslim community, towards the Khalifa, who were the only caretaker of the Muslim people of that particular time, right? And this was the greatest and golden opportunity for Gandhi to urge people for one motive, Hindu and Muslim together. And here Gandhi saw an opportunity to convert his local movement into national movement, and from here only the national movement started in India, and this is what the chapter about. So in 1919, when this Khilafat movement is going on, Gandhi joined these two of the brothers, Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali, and he gave a statement to them that we the Indian people will fight against the British crown for Khalifa. And soon in 1920, when he was with the Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali, he wanted to convert this Khilafat movement into non-cooperation movement. And from here, the very first national movement, the non-cooperation movement started. So let's start the topic, non-cooperation movement. It was the idea of Gandhi. Gandhi wrote in his book Hindu Swaraj in 1909, because of the cooperation of the Indian people, British established their rule in India. If Indian people stop cooperating them, definitely there will be a collapse of this government in India. Gandhi, with this idea, asked people to boycott all the civil services, surrender their titles, leave their jobs, schools, colleges, institutions, and many more things. With this appeal, thousands, millions of people joined Gandhi. Gandhi was a national voice that time. He was so popular that people don't have doubt in his voice. They never have a second thought to join Gandhi. And they left each and everything and they joined Gandhi. Non-cooperation movement started with non-violence, because Gandhi would believe in ahimsa paramo dharma. He never wanted people to commit any crime, to commit any civil crime which can lead people to death, because he saw many Indian people dying in different movements. British company was doing wrong with the Indian people, and against of that, Gandhi asked people to join this movement non-cooperation with full non-violence. And in result, thousands and millions of people joined Gandhi. Who are the people who joined Gandhi in non-cooperation movement? So here are the list of the people list of the community who joined Gandhi, in which peasants, workers, women, tribal, industrialists, patidar and jats were there. They do have a different aspiration, different hope. Gandhi do have a different agenda and motive to start the non-cooperation movement. Somehow these people joined Gandhi, but with the time they lose their hopes and they left the movement. In this movement, Gandhi gave another slogan, Swadeshi movement, boycott foreign service, foreign product, and people stopped using at that particular time the different products which were made by the foreign companies, and they started using the Indian product like khadi. But somehow after some time we all come to know that, and we all know one thing, that khadi was so expensive, and till now it is very expensive, so it was not possible for the middle class people to use khadi in a regular basis for a long period of a time. So somehow people lost their interest in that and they started once again using the foreign product. So in 1928, Sir John Simon came in India with a new ideology, where for the Indians, the Indian political system which will going to work will be constituted with the help of the Britishers only. There will be no any Indian who will work as an Indian political leader for the Indian people. So it was the biggest problem for the leaders who were there at that time, and thinking, if we will not the part of the Indian politics, then how we will do a thing or a good thing for the Indian people. And against of this, they started Go Back Simon, and this slogan was given by Yusuf Meherali, right? So he was the one who gave this slogan in 1928, and with this slogan only, the second national movement started by the Gandhi, that is civil disobedience movement. Before Gandhi starts civil disobedience movement, Lord Irwin proposed a proposal to the Indian people, dominion status for India, and he offered first round table conference in London. Somehow people were not interested, and Gandhi said no to the first round table. And against of that, the young blood from the Congress, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhas Chandra Bose, in 1929 Lahore session, they declared Purna Swaraj, and they celebrated 26th of Jan as an Independence Day. So let's start the topic Salt March Civil Disobedience Movement. But before I start this topic, I just want to share information with you all that on 31st of January 1930, Gandhi wrote a letter to Lord Irwin, Viceroy Irwin, with 11 demands. In this demand, some of the demands were a general interest, Some of the demands specify the category like industrialist, peasants and worker. And the most important thing which was there in this demand was a salt. At that particular time, Britishers imposed tax on salt. And as per the Gandhi, salt is a substance used by rich, poor, educated, illiterate, everyone in the society. So no one can impose tax on salt. But somehow Lord Irwin haven't showed his interest in that particular demand. And against of this, yes, Gandhi started Salt March. And this was the one of the famous national movement ever started by Gandhi. In this movement, millions of people joined Gandhi from Sabarmati to Dandi. 24 days, more than 285 kilometers he traveled, and finally in Dandi, Gandhi made his own salt. सबसे बड़ा, सबसे बेहतरीन एक ऐसा मूवमेंट जो गांधी ने स्टार्ट किया था। दोस्तों, तो यहीं मैं अपने चैप्टर को आज रोकता हूं। इसी चैप्टर को कंटिन्यू करते हुए मैं आपसे फिर मिलूंगा। आप जानते हैं मेरे चैनल का नाम हिस्ट्री विद देवाशीष। लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें। इसके बाद आपको कौन सा चैप्टर पढ़ना है या आप मुझे कमेंट करके बता सकते हैं। मेरी नेक्स्ट वीडियो उस चैप्टर पर बिल्कुल रहेगी। तब तक के लिए मेरे चैनल को लाइक करते रहें, सब्सक्राइब करते रहें। फिर मिलूंगा आपसे बहुत जल्द इसी वीक पर। और हाँ, बहुत ही जल्दी मैं आपके लिए एक छोटा सा वीडियो बनाने वाला हूँ जो कि बड़ा ही इंटरेस्टिंग है। देखते रहिए, बने रहिए, लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें। थैंक यू।